it is important to understand what is going on with Apple versus the FBI because serious changes could take place that would affect the security of all Apple phones worldwide. The shooters were Farouk at 28 years old and Malik at 29 years old. Both attackers at the time were American citizens, but did have ties back to Pakistan. 14 people were killed and 22 were seriously injured in this terrorist attack in Inland Regional Center, San Bernardino, California. Now moving on to the actual case of the security fraud. According to Apple, the government would like for them to make a master key that would be transplanted onto the phone of the terrorist in order to unlock it without triggering the allotted number of times that can be attempted. The government's press relationships officer said they would need this valuable information on that phone that would not be stored on an iCloud backup and would use it only on the suspected individual's phone in this case. And if Apple does come up with this code, who's to say the federal government wouldn't use this code in order to unlock other phones that have been in crimes? And it's just not that Apple's making a key, it's that there's going to be a key available for anyone to use in order for them to unlock a phone, therefore being it for good reasons or for bad reasons. And I'm not trying to say the federal government doesn't need to unlock phones that have been used in crimes, but I'm just saying that even in this district of Manhattan alone, 175 iPhones need to be unlocked. And around the world, it could be a lot more. And even Edward Snowden told us that NSA is watching, and always informing, and always recording. NSA and the Panama Papers have contributed to us seeing that the government in all countries isn't totally in the favor of the people, but in the favor of the justified government. Therefore, these keys could unlock a whole series and plethora of things that could actually be detrimental to the consumer. And this type of surveillance isn't something new. We've seen it through the Red Scare, we've seen it through every single world war. We're always being surveillanced, but now that we have a key in order to stop that surveillance, they're trying to take it away from the people. But the strange thing in this case is that the FBI actually dropped the case against Apple and said they can unlock the phone by themselves. So maybe they're trying to say that maybe Apple did comply with them and did unlock the phone. Or they've always had a key to unlock it. It just took more time on their. And Android users aren't skating away either. They should also be very afraid because their phones are the least secure of all phones. People need to understand that this isn't just a problem with iPhones or Apple in general. It's a problem with all our phones and all our technology. That if we continue to make backdoor keys, backdoor logs, and backdoor everything, we're just making ourselves less secure. I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but we do need to understand that the security of our phones means the security of every single one of us because we all are connected to our phones. This could also leave our phone vulnerable to international hackers, solo hackers, or internal hackers in our own government that would like to see every single thing that we are doing as American citizens. And we can't say some of the entities we already have in place in order to stop foreign or domestic terrorism is even working because TSA is a complete failure. Some would like to also argue that there is no need to be scared that the government is looking at our stuff. That if we're not trying to hide anything, then why are we worried? But that is not the question we're asking right now. The continuous question that all Americans are considering asking is, do we sacrifice more of our liberties for more security? We also need to understand that terrorism is going to be here forever. And now it's going to change into the digital world. And we need to figure out how we're going to stop this from happening, but also not sacrifice any of our own freedom in order to stop it from happening. These are the type of apocalyptic scenarios that we're going to see if we just continue to let surveillance happen. Much like a Hunger Games, Allegiance, or any of these other pre-teen movies where the end of the world is coming, we see this happening. We see that people are losing their freedoms in order to have security. And all the points I do bring up are high and low and could be out of possibilities. But it's important to understand that these are possibilities. We can't just say something's not going to happen because we think the government's in our favor or we think the government's against our favor. We as citizens and as consumers need to understand the implications that come with having backdoors and vulnerabilities in our phones. But as always, thank you for watching my video, and please, in the comments below, subscribe and also comment on what your ideas on this whole subject is about, and whether or not you believe anything I said, or whether or not you agree with what I said. So, thank you very much, and have a beautiful day.